Hello, welcome to this episode of the Talk NOLA. Today we are joined by Abby and the Arsonist. Say hello, Abby and the Arsonist.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
What's good, yo?
So we are joined by...
I'm Abby.
I'm Andrew.
Luke.
I'm Kelsey.
Tell me a little bit about what you guys do in the band, what your individual roles are.
I sing and I play guitar.
I play guitar and I sing a little bit, but I mostly play guitar.
I play drums and crack jokes.
And I play bass.
Excellent. Okay, so the name, just for basics, it's Abby and the Arsonist. Tell me a little bit about the band name, the story behind it, and how you all came to be, like how you guys were introduced with each other. I know, Abby, you told me that you graduated from Loyola, so please just tell me, are you all local from here?
No, me and Andrew are from Virginia. We met because we're related.
We're
It's
brother, sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they met because they're dating.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. So they, we all.
We have a mutual friend who introduced us. I was friends with him in college. They met through marching band, and we just got introduced as a group together. He moved away, but we stayed together.
When we first started playing together, we were rehearsing in this tiny apartment that was like crammed like head to toe with like crazy stuff. It was like the juggling house for Tulane's juggling club or something.
Yeah.
And they had a studio.
So did the idea of the band start in Virginia while you two were living there together?
Well, Abby and I kind of always played music together.
Yeah.
Abby had a project in high school called Phoebe Water Shoes. I was in a band in high school with my friends, and but throughout all that, we always played music together. We did release a couple albums under a project called Bean Dream that we wrote. That I think if you listen to that, it's like pre-Arsonists. Like it has a lot of the same kind of similar threads, and we even still like we would perform a couple Bean Dream songs live as the Arsonists, even recently. So that was kind of how Abby and I started playing music. And then when we started as a band, it was really kind of coming out of COVID. I was playing like really quietly in my bedroom for a long time.
Yeah, I think we were like all rehearsing in mass still when we
Yeah.
first started.
Yeah,
we were rehearsing in mass.
We were.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was really just a way to like the way I saw it. I was like, oh, I get to crank my amp up and play loudly for the first time in a long time. And I actually hadn't been in a band in like a few years at that point, so I was just excited to play with other people.
Yeah.
And then we just kept playing.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then when there was a point when you guys were you guys introduced together at the same time? Were you already dating at that point? Tell me a little bit about that timeline.
Yeah. So we were dating about maybe 7-8 months, maybe a year
Oh.
Yeah, before then.
before then. And Charlie had, a mutual friend through Tulane's marching band reached out to us saying that Charlie was looking for the fifth member was looking for a drummer.
He asked
And-
me if he was looking for a drummer, and I said, I can't do that. My boyfriend can. Can I come too? And I was playing keyboard at first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Charlie was playing bass, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Charlie
Charlie was
Wow.
playing bass, yeah.
Yeah, our first jam, you were playing keys.
Yep.
Yeah.
What were some of the covers we were doing? Because we started out doing covers.
Footsteps in the Dark was the big
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
That was such a
Oh.
fun one.
And
Yeah.
the Cranberries one.
Yeah.
Did a
Aw,
Cranberry song.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
Y'all were okay. Wow. So Footsteps in the Dark. That's actually like a throwback and a half.
Yeah.
Like what, 60s, 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 70s.
That's
Isley
not
Brothers.
Neville. Yeah, it's
No,
the
that's the
Isley
Isley
Brothers.
Brothers.
Isley. I was like,
Brothers.
that's not Neville Brothers, but I knew it was
Yeah.
somewhere.
It
around
was
there.
fun to play that one because we would watch people in the crowd almost like get in an argument where it was like, oh, that's Ice Cube. No, that's the Isley
Yeah.
No,
Brothers.
it's the Thundercat song.
No, it's the
Yeah.
Thundercat
Brothers
song.
are-
Yeah, so that one was always a fun one to play.
We should pull that out again.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should.
Should.
We played that for years. Yeah.
All right, so your first single, Answering Machine, together as a group. It dropped in 2021. Looking back, do you feel that it still represents the band, the energy and the sound of it represents the band, or do you see it as a snapshot of where you were at the time?
Well, it's like 7 minutes long, so I'd say that's pretty arsonisty.
Yeah.
We don't write such short songs.
I mean, you have like a 6-minute song on your most
Yeah.
recent album.
I think we have about like 2 or 3 6-minute
I have a lot
songs.
to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that at the time we didn't have like the equipment that we have now. And it was, we were definitely, I mean, I don't know. You'd been mixing stuff before because you did the whole Bean Dream thing. So I don't know if like your kind of like production skills have like changed so much. But I feel like it sounds like that's our sound. That's,
I'm pretty proud of it, honestly.
Yeah.
We don't play it as much at shows anymore just because we can only play so long and we can't, which I think is a good problem to have. And, I remember our first gig, we like had 3 songs or maybe 4 songs. And I think the biggest difference between then and now is just that we've just continued to write songs. And I don't really, I know a lot of bands look at their earlier work and they can say like, oh, that's not really us anymore. Or, like we don't, I don't feel that way about any of our songs. Like I like all of them. We just have to pick and choose what we can play. I don't know how you guys feel, Luke and Kelsey.
I mean, there's no lack of creativity in this band.
Yeah, agreed.
Damn straight.
So with that being said, what does a creative process for you guys look like? Does someone take lead in the songwriting? Does someone start with a riff, or does someone bring an idea to the table, or does it kind of merge in a jam session? Tell me a little bit about that.
What's cool, I think, is that I think everyone at this table has at one point been like, wait, I came up with this thing. I don't know if we can like build something off of that. But normally it starts like where somebody has like an instrumental like idea, and then we kind of like layer from there and then add on to it like as the group.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty egalitarian. Like I feel like part of why our band,
Very vocab word.
well,
Egalitarian.
SAT prep word. No, but yeah, I think that part of why I think so many bands fail because people like don't feel like they can express their vision, creatively. And I feel like we all feel like if we have an idea, it will be heard, and we all feel comfortable presenting our ideas. And and it's not just that, it's like we're all stoked on each other's ideas too. So like it's hard to find a group where that can continue for as long as we've been together for 4+ years, which is cool.
And what's nice about it is just like we all come from different musical backgrounds. So we each get to, we're making a song, but we each get to bring something that's our own to the table.
Yeah.
Wait, we're all wearing like different band shirts. You got Ice Cube, we've got Yucks, we've got MJ Lenderman. What's your shirt?
Oh, this is not a band actually. It's a TV show that I used to watch with my dad.
Never mind.
Well,
That's
what
cool,
show
though.
is it?
It's called Svengoolie. So it's like it was only on Chicago for a long time. Now it's everywhere. But it was this guy who would show like old horror movies from like the 50s through the 80s, and then he would like make fun of them interspersed and have like jokes and stuff.
Oh, so like it wasn't like a scripted show. How does that format work? Say that again.
Have you ever seen like Mystery Science Theater 3000?
No, I've not seen that.
So they'd play like a full film, and they'd have these like little dudes, and it looks like you're like watching them in the theater, and they're making fun of it. So it's as if you're like in the theater with them, and they're like talking shit about.
Oh, that's interesting.
Whatever's on,
About
so-
how long ago was that? Is this?
It's still on.
It's still on.
Yeah.
No
Wow,
way.
I have never. Have
We
you
gotta
guys heard
watch
of that?
Yeah, Svengoolie. It's great.
I haven't heard of it. You gotta show it to us sometime.
It's
Yeah.
I mean,
fun.
that is so unlike TV now. Like TV is just not having shows like that.
Yeah.
I feel like our brains are wired for short-term content now.
I know.
The
And-
TikTokification of everything.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right.
But yeah, going back to the band though, the name Arsonist, I asked a question earlier, but I was jumbling a bunch of other questions on top of it. Tell me about how the name Arsonist came about.
The fifth member that
That was Charlie.
that was Charlie. He came up
All
with
Charlie.
it. Sometimes I get worried that I look vain because I'm like my band, I'm the front, my name's in the. I don't know, like I'm shy. But I
Like
didn't come
like
up with
the
it.
Abby and the part.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's not all about me.
Well, I mean, it was collectively, it was like a group decision
Yeah,
to
like-
kind of make that.
Charlie came up with it, and then we were all like, "Wait,
That's the coolest
awesome,
one.
man."
Yeah, I mean, and the acronym as well, the AAA. It's pretty cool.
got a-
like
it's
like
got a
with your
nice ring to
signature,
it. Yeah.
it does look really really cool.
It's also like we play with a lot of like kind of like punk and hardcore like bands, so it makes us seem like
Stands out. A little
we
bit,
make
or-
sense on the flyer, even if we aren't so heavy.
Yeah. So when you all were introduced as a band, how was that initial chemistry, and what has kept you guys together for the last 4 years, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
4 and change.
Yeah.
Well, Luke and Kelsey, what has kept you guys in the band?
Yeah, why are you here?
I'd love to know.
I guess like just how we meshed together so well whenever we like played, especially like when we first started getting together at the Juggling House, because it was a little different for me because I come from like a marching band background, but I was also like playing some drum kit for some friends that would used to like sing or rap behind it. So it was something that was very different for me. But like I said, like it was just something cool because like me and Andy, we would all be playing, and then somehow all 5 of us would stop at the same time and look at each other and be like, "Holy shit, that was really cool." So there was just a really good chemistry, I think, from the jump. And I don't know, y'all are awesome.
Appreciate that.
Wow.
I think also like we did, like you said, we came from different backgrounds, but like we did have a lot of overlapping tastes like that we talked about from the jump, like a lot of 90s like alt rock bands that we were all into, like I don't know, like Nirvana, obviously, like Pearl Jam, Chili Peppers, like that kind of thing is like we were all into that stuff, Cranberries, like it was just easy to talk about music like from the start.
How did those influences shape your sound?
I don't know. I mean, I think some of the songwriting ideas from a lot of that stuff. I think at the end of the day, like what shapes our sound, at least from my opinion on that, is like, it's just stuff that like I like to play. I don't really know how else to describe it. I'm not saying like, I'm not sitting down and being like, let me write a Pearl Jam sounding song or let me write a this sounding like. I'll be like, I want a song that kind of has this energy and then moves into this, and then we kind of show it to the band, and then maybe it becomes something totally different. But every one of our songs in our set, I'm like excited to play because I'm like, this song rocks, and I have fun playing it. So I'm not like breaking it down or like parsing things out like, oh, this is gonna, these are my influences and X, Y, Z is, But yeah, I don't know.
Well, to add to that, Abby, when you're presented with a riff, what's your thought process on writing lyrics to that and creating a melody for a song?
That always ends up being like the last thing I do, because it's like, especially when we started getting towards the end of the album, I ran out of shit to say. I don't know. Like I was kind of like, I was drawn from the kind of like I have a like a notes app.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll kind of have like a really long, like continuous notes app where it's just like, if I have an idea or I think of something, I'll write it down. Something that helps me when I'm like stuck is I'll take a song that I know and I've been listening to a lot and rewrite the lyrics to be mine, to come up with something to say. And then I'll try to make it fit to whatever song we're working on. But yeah, that's often the last thing that gets finished. I never really start out where I'm like, I have this idea for this song, it's going to be about this, and then I hope I can like build something around that. Normally it's like we'll start jamming on something, someone will have a riff, and then we'll kind of try to make it a full song, and then I'm like, I gotta come up with something to say. Yeah. So
do you feel that storytelling is often very much included in your songs and a key component?
Yeah, for sure. I think this past album, I have a few different songs that are like about a movie or a TV show or like a certain scene from something or something in a book that I liked.
Yeah, for Carmela.
Yeah,
it's like the Sopranos kind of.
Yeah.
I saw the art for the single. That was really what made you guys want to go with that kind of layout?
Because the song was about yeah, I don't know. It was I can't remember what season I was watching. I was watching the season where they I don't want to spoil anything, but
That show has been out
It's been out for a long
forever.
time,
That
right?
Yeah,
show
if
has
you
been
ain't-
out
yo,
for
If you
ages.
haven't seen that show, like, bruh, what,
Come
what are you
on,
what are you
man.
waiting on?
It's when they get separated and stuff. That's what I was like watching at the time. And it was just kind of funny because it's this really dark like mob story, and there's so much stuff going on that is not like kind of soap opera, like over the top, like kind of family stuff. But I just feel like Carmela and the way she was written and like the relationship she has with Tony is so interesting. And then there's this season where she's trying to live on her own and like struggling to maintain relationships with her kids during like this divorce, and it was just so kind of interesting to have that be in the background. Meanwhile, they're like murdering people and like throwing their body in the river and stuff. Just kind of the stakes of those different situations were so different, and I was thinking about that a lot. And so I wrote this song about The Sopranos, but it's really about like this woman who knows she's getting cheated on, and she doesn't really care because it's like, well, yeah, I'm a mob wife, that's what happens. And then all of a sudden she's like, wait, this sucks.
And that's the reality of that. I feel like that show really depicted mob life really well.
Yeah, I wouldn't know from experience.
No, it was so I was reading that actual mafia bosses would call James Gandolfini, and they would call him and they would say that a Don would never wear shorts.
Yeah, I love that story. Luke's family, what is it? Your dad won like
Okay.
a spaghetti dinner.
It wasn't my dad, but okay. So when The Sopranos was out, every Sunday it would come on. Like the new episodes would come on, and my family would have family dinner and watch The Sopranos.
Right.
Well, my dad wasn't involved in this picture, but there was a contest to where if you submitted a picture, you get to meet the cast and eat at the fancy restaurant that they always eat at throughout the show. So a bunch of my family went, like, got suited up and everything and went and took a picture, submitted it, and won the contest. So they flew out to, I want to say it was Newark. Yeah, they flew out to Newark and went to the restaurant, ate, met the entire cast, James Gandolfini included. And there's a picture somewhere where it's kind of like all of them, and they look like a picture of the Last Supper, and it's signed by the entire cast of the show.
That's cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So going back on Caterpillar in the walls. Now that's in the walls, not on the walls.
They're in them.
Yeah.
So like, why are they in the walls? What is with the album name? It's awesome. It's quirky. It's funny. Tell me about the correlation with the song names and the album name.
Well, Luke came up with the album name. He came up with our EP name too. And I think what happened both times is I made the art, and then we were like, what do we do? And then Luke comes up with something.
Well, I was looking at it, and if you look at the outside of the cover, it's an entire caterpillar. Like the entire border of it is a caterpillar.
Yeah.
So I looked at it. I was like sending emails at work, and I was listening to files, and I looked at the picture, and I was like, caterpillars in the walls, and I sent it in the chat, and it stuck.
It is.
It was
Stuck.
the best.
Yeah.
It was the best one. It was the hardest
Yeah,
part of the album, was naming it.
we had a lot of.
We did everything
Yeah.
before we named it. And we
Yeah.
we're like, guys, we can't release it until we name it. What are we
Yeah.
going to name it?
I think it fits though, because the caterpillar is like he's eating himself. It's supposed to be like an Ouroboros, but it's a caterpillar instead of a snake. And then also like, I don't know, there's a little bit of like a paranoid feeling to it. Like there's bugs in the walls, but it's also like a little bit, I don't know. Whimsical.
Also, I think it reminds me of like the lyric in Scarecrow, where it's like there's something under the house, something mysterious is in this house, which I think kind of ties into the name a little bit.
So
I
that's
don't
a
know.
feeling. That's a feeling that you were trying to evoke throughout the album.
No, there's a few different songs where it's like I was trying to be scary, kind of make it kind of, I don't know, make everybody get scared.
So the album it featured a few singles that you guys waterfalled as singles. Tell me about the strategy and why you guys went ahead with waterfalling, because I see I'm seeing that being increasingly popular, especially now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple of reasons why we did that. I think first is, it took us, we started recording this album in April of last year. And if we just didn't do anything for a long time, it's like, I mean, I really hate that this is the way it is, but like you kind of have to like remind people that you exist, you know?
Right.
And it's also like it really stinks to like have something and it's ready and done, and then you just don't release it. Like what's the fun in that? So I think part of it is just like we have this song, like let's just put it out there. Why would we wait? And then I think yeah, I don't know. You know, I looked up a lot of like, you know, strategy to release your album video.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has an opinion on how to do that, and there's some stuff that contradicts other stuff, and like the right thing to do is always changing. But you know, it just felt kind of right. Like, you know, we released 3 singles last year. They kind of came out as we, you know, recorded them,
Yeah.
and they were kind of, you know, I don't want to pick favorites, but they were definitely the 3 that we were like, these are like singles.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
It just kind of made sense.
And that was Carmela, Scarecrow, and Lala, right?
Yes.
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 All right. So you were mentioning studio time. You've been recording that album since last April.
Yeah.
Ooh, so you guys are a fully independent band, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
No label support. So what does studio time look like for a fully independent band, 4 members, all different instruments?
It's crazy. It's hard to that. What you guys on, Luke?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No.
You just gave me a funny look.
No. I know this is your forte, my brother.
Well, I spent a lot of time thinking about how we're going to do this. That is a great question. Like, how do you record? Because studio time is so expensive. If you're lucky enough to, you know, go to Loyola and you have access to the studios here, that's a great option. But if you don't, then your options are like, you know, you get on a label and they front for the studio time, and then you're in, you know, owe them a lot of money,
You're still paying for that
You're-
anyways, you
yeah,
know?
so-
with the money that you have to give back to them.
yeah, it takes some bands like take their whole career to like pay off their labels, and so you know, then you're just looking, okay, can I just get a space? Can I rent a space? And that gets
Yeah.
really expensive really quick. Like,
Also, it's like we were looking at a lot of different spaces when we were looking to record, and a lot of them were like funky, stinky, like
Oh, gross.
moldy, like creepy murdered rat fight.
it's like
basements.
900 a
Yeah.
month for
You're
like
so-
a shed without any plumbing or
You're so-
electricity.
Yeah.
And it's your responsibility to fill it up with studio equipment as well.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
top of that.
Yeah, totally. I don't know if that's you, Abo.
You assumed it was, but it's
No,
not.
okay, cool.
That in fact was me. I apologize.
No, no
Nice.
worries.
It's all good.
No, I was just yeah. So basically, like it just kind of landed. We have a rehearsal space. I'll shout them out. It's Spreading the Music.
Yeah.
All right, so some love to spreading the music. Okay.
Yeah.
It's right off Ferret, right by Mojo.
Yes, yeah. And we had been rehearsing there, and it was just like, let's just set up our mics in there in our rehearsal space. It's the most affordable like rehearsal space that we found so far. That isn't like, you know, there's some places that you can rent out and share with other bands, but like it floods and like all
Yeah.
your drums get like water
Messed
damage.
up.
So it's just
Right.
yeah. So that's what we did. We would pretty much we'd find the free time between the 4 of us and get together and plop our mics down and get stuff tracked. And it took us, you know, I very naively thought that we could do it in a month. I don't know why I thought that.
That's always the case, man.
Yeah.
Always the case.
Yeah. So yeah, I wound up taking a little longer than that, but
A little bit.
Okay, so for a younger band that are trying to get to the next level, trying to start recording, you know, they've been playing in the local scene, they're gigging, it's going well, people want to hear their music. What are they expecting? If they're going that route, what do you think in terms of actual money? Like, what do you think it will cost to finance just 1 month of building your own studio and recording in your own studio, or renting as you used?
it's expensive.
Yeah.
Very.
It's like prohibitively expensive.
So would you advise like they need to get jobs, they need to work, like how would you advise a younger band to finance something like this?
We have a band fund, so every time we have like a gig or if we sell merch or do anything like that, then we put the money in like a pool that's like, this is the band fund for the band. So we've used that to like fix amps, buy new equipment, buy recording equipment. It goes towards the rehearsal space.
Yeah, I think get a digital audio interface. That's, you know, there's some that are, you know, pretty affordable. We bought an 8 input digital audio interface.
Right.
for like $300. We used that with band money just from playing gigs. And that was kind of step one. You know, just get your hands on some XLR cables, get an SM57. You can maybe get a used one for like, you know, $70, but you can get a new one $100. And honestly, like, you know, you have to make concessions with like what you have. Like I can't like fully soundproof like a space that we're, you know, just there for a couple hours. And it's just like at a certain point, and a lot of this album, it's just like, this is how it is. This is how it sounds. It's not going to sound like it's recorded in a studio, and that's okay. Like we're all fine with that. And you can make music that you're proud of, that you're happy with, and you don't have to like spend a ton of money. And I'd never recorded like an acoustic drum kit before this album. And some things like there's a really good series on YouTube. It's reverb.com, and they do a series where they just try to recreate the way that a drum kit was recorded on a given record, and they try to get it like exactly how it was. And one thing that really opened my eyes was on the Amy Winehouse album, the drum kit is just an SM57. It's one microphone. And so like if you're starting out as a band, see how sound as good as you can with one microphone, and then just go from there, and then play some gigs, and then you can get a second microphone, and then build from there. You know what I mean? So start small, get really good with like one microphone, and go from there. That would kind of be my advice.
Did you face any unexpected challenges, I want to add, while recording this album?
When I was recording, what is the end of Old Boy, we were home for Christmas, and so we were in my parents' basement, and my mom was worried that the neighbors were going to think I was getting murdered because I have to like yell a lot.
Yeah.
She was embarrassed. So it's challenging.
Yeah, that was funny.
So now, if a record label were listening right now to this episode and are listening to AAA, how would you market yourselves? How would you sell yourself? What would your elevator pitch if you had those 15 minutes?
Whoa.
Just come to a show and see if you like it. And I don't know, I think the music, this is the most cliche thing ever, but I think it's true. It's really, really true. I mean, like, and then, you know, kind of going back on like the advice to other bands too, like the music has to be the first thing. Like if you're playing stuff that you like and that makes you happy, that you're excited about, that's like the most important thing. And I feel very lucky that I can say that about our band. And if I really like it, and that's good enough for me. And if a label is interested in that, then that's awesome, and that would make me very happy. But also, you know, it's really for us first and foremost. So, yeah, I'm proud of our music, and I hope that others like it too. I like to think that people tend to like it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to like? I was listening to the album throughout the week. I think Lala was kind of the standout track for me.
Nice.
Thank you.
Really, really good. Really good lyrics, drums, instrumentals. So when you were getting your album onto Spotify, tell me about the distribution process and how that treated you, because you guys don't have a distributor. You post through DistroKid, I imagine.
Yep.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that process for if a younger artist was trying to understand it.
Yeah, I think DistroKid's pretty accessible. You know, I think they have some plans that are pretty affordable, like I don't know, like $20 a year or something like that. Like, yeah, I would kind of go that. There's other. I haven't checked the market in a while, but DistroKid at the time made the most sense, and yeah, it's pretty good, and they can. I honestly don't know how good it sounds, but they offer to like master your tracks. Like if you want to do that, if you have a friend that's like an audio engineer, like hit up a human being first, I would say. But yeah, no, we're pretty happy with DistroKid. No, we're not sponsored.
Have you had any experimentation with playlist pitching?
Kind of, not really. One time we posted our EP. When we released our EP, it just got picked up on a playlist.
That must have been exciting.
We were like, holy shit,
Yeah.
like 7,000 monthly listeners, like, whoa. And then, you know, it like every day from then it just went down and went down and went down back to normal. So, you know, I think, and I was saying this to you guys the other day, like, you know, DistroKid and Spotify for Artists or whatever, they have stuff where you can like pitch to labels, and I did that for this album and for the singles and stuff. But I don't know. I think like you can do stuff on the internet, but like play gigs and get like actual people that will show up for you. I think that's the most important thing, because like I don't think really anything got put on a playlist from this album, but I was pretty happy with the numbers after the first couple days. I was like, that's cool. And like this didn't get put on a playlist that someone's gonna, you know, maybe listen to once and then move on. Like these are people that, you know, over the course of like us being in a band, have showed up to gigs or found us from somewhere else, and like they're gonna listen to it, you know, here and there more than once, hopefully. But yeah, so I was actually pretty proud of how I feel like we built kind of an audience for ourselves. You know, a modest audience, but an audience is an audience. Like I'm super. I could die happy. Like I'm. This is, but yeah, I don't know. I don't want to hog the mic, but
Do you guys as a band feel like streaming platforms and services are doing enough to support small and independent artists?
Hell no, they're not doing enough to support big ones
No.
either. Yeah, it's
no.
like famously
No.
exploitative. Sucks, but you know.
I can say how much we've made a lifetime. I actually found this the other day. I was digging
What?
around. We've had music on there for like 4 years. We've made like $93.
Over the course of 4 years.
I mean, we haven't gotten that many streams, so I wasn't expecting much. But I was actually like, "Oh shit, $90! That's
Yeah,
awesome."
no.
but,
Hey, that is pretty cool.
but no, I mean, yeah, definitely not. Absolutely not.
Mm.
What
But
do you think are some of the biggest flaws currently in the music industry?
I mean, I think that unfortunately, the way the world works is that you have to make money to do stuff. That's just you know how things are.
That's
And
the way
so,
it is. So.
for example, if you want to make art, you do need to be making money to continue to make art. And so, yeah, I don't know, just the whole thing of like when bands are trying to like be like a professional indie band and have that be like their career, you like the only real way you make money is like through, you know, like merch and shit and like ticket sales and stuff. And it's like, I don't know, it's just a lot of pressure, and a lot of bands like end up like barely breaking even when they go on tour and stuff. And I don't know, it's sad. It's hard to make money this way.
yeah, I think like going into being a band, I think you should, if you want to like get the most out of it, I think you should be clear on like what you want to get out of it. Like, and I think I don't want to say like don't follow your dreams. I think you always should follow your dreams.
Yeah.
But I think like there's so many talented people that like it's just they're not going to break through, and it might never happen. And and if that's your goal, then you're going to be disappointed, you know. But
Yeah.
if you're like, do I want to have fun and like make music with my friends, maybe play some gigs and, you know, see where that goes, like, you know, and just as long as you're doing it for yourself, like you'll be happy, you know. And yeah, the industry is I'm not qualified to give advice, but what I am qualified to give advice on is you know, just do it for yourself and the rest will come, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like that's the best way you can really put it. So going back to shows, we are in New Orleans, the music playground of probably the world. What has been your most favorite venue while playing here?
Ooh. I really like Siberia because they always have like a chest full of Miller High Lifes, and the back room's really cool.
Yeah.
I'll give a shout out to this one because this one just reopened or is going too soon. Shout out Gasa Gasa.
Yeah.
That one's always a fun
Finally.
one.
Yeah.
Glad we got another uptown spot.
They also have a cool green room.
They
I
do.
like when there's a green room. It makes me feel famous. The goat's also really cool. We always play at the goat, and it's a lot of fun.
I love the
I
goat.
love the
Goat
goat.
might be
The
my
goat is
Yeah.
awesome.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
I like the way the room sounds. It's not a very big room, and I feel like sometimes, you know, if not everything's mic'd up, you can't hear. I can't hear Abby on the other side of the stage sometimes, you know. But I just feel like the room sounds good. I can hear everybody, and you know, there's I like the goat a lot.
Definitely want to show support to all the sound engineers throughout the city and definitely at all the venues too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out.
Absolutely.
What has been your like most memorable show so far, if any come to mind?
Muff Prom was really fun.
Yeah?
And I feel like a lot of people I know like saw us at Muff Prom and were excited about it. Like the guy at our album release show, I met somebody. This was I don't know, it made me feel really special. I was really excited. I met somebody who has been putting our lyrics on Genius and stuff, and just kind of has
cool.
just like has been doing that because I don't know, they just wanted to do that.
Abby, do you want to tell what the good people what Muff Prom is?
Yeah, well, I was getting there.
Okay.
Not to be so sassy, but he saw us at Muff Prom, and then like ever since then has been like listening to our music, has been a fan and stuff. And I think I've met a few other people who said kind of similar stuff. It's like, I didn't really know you guys, but I saw you at Muff Prom. It was oh my gosh,
Friends made a
Oliver
movie.
and this is so bad. I'm blanking.
Quinn.
Oh yeah, it was Quinn and Oliver's movie. And they had this big premiere party where they screened the movie, and then it was us and Evan's band at the time. I think it was just Chimney, Evan, Michelle, but it was still Evan and
It was at the
and Emma.
Broadside.
It was at the Broadside,
Yes.
and who else played? Bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was this big show. We all wore suits, and that was fun. And it was a bunch of Loyola
Beatles.
bands, and then a bunch of Loyola people, and everybody dressed up like it was prom because the theme was
That's awesome.
prom, and it was really fun. It was a very fun night, and the film was awesome. It was super cool.
Yeah. Can I just say I thought our album release show was my favorite show so far.
Okay.
I thought it was
You
awesome.
can say that.
Yeah. It was really fun.
What was everybody's least favorite show?
Wait, hold on. Y'all didn't say your favorite shows yet.
I think my favorite show, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was a Mardi Gras show when we were with Panama Papers, and it was at Gasa Gasa,
Yes.
and the whole place was completely packed, and it was just really cool.
Oof,
Oh yeah.
that sounds
Yeah.
awesome.
That was fun.
A lot of energy in that show.
Lots of energy.
Nothing
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing worse than a good show that no one recorded.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
I wish we had more like videos and stuff from the album release show because people were singing along and stuff and like
Yeah.
dancing crazy. And that was
think-
really
It was
sweet.
really cool.
I think we might have some videos.
Cool.
More on that later.
Tell me about yours.
I think mine it's a tie between this most recent album release show and that same Gasa Gasa show that Kels was just talking about. Just because the energy was different, and for me it was crazy to hear the entire room like scream lyrics back at us.
Yeah.
I don't know, Abby. I don't know
Oh
how you
my
feel about
God.
that, but
That was
I
so
like.
cool.
I had goosebumps as I was playing,
Me too.
and it was so hard for me to like focus in and like keep time
man.
because it was just such a cool feeling.
That was really neat. That's been a little private dream of mine since we started playing together. I was like, what if like one day like I was playing and then the audience
No,
was like
wow,
knew my
yeah.
words and was singing back and stuff.
What a special moment. Yeah, I've definitely, that's a not so private dream of mine. I mean, that's such a cool feeling and experience.
Yeah,
It's the best thing in the world.
I can imagine. Now what's next? They're probably gonna harmonize like the guitar parts next. Shout the bass lines.
I don't know about that. Someone brings their rig into the audience. I will respect the hell out of you if you do that. I challenge anyone to do that.
So now that your album is out, what's next for the band?
Playing some gigs, hopefully.
Jimmy Fallon, I think. Just kidding.
I mean, we've also been like, as we like were rehearsing for different shows and stuff, sometimes we would be like, hey, we have this thing. So we also have a couple, I got maybe like 3 or so.
3 or 4.
3 or 4.
Quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few new songs that are cooking up as well.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited to write again. I really like doing that.
yeah, the writing process is definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
As being a band for sure.
Oh, so new material in the work.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna be pursuing that, or are you gonna take a little more time and pushing this album more, or are you gonna let the album kind of marinate and it's already done its thing, and you're just gonna get right back to being creatives?
I mean, I think we're probably gonna be playing some shows and trying to get people to listen to our album and stuff, and play the songs that are on the album. But we have time. We don't have to rush into anything. I don't think we're gonna start recording anytime soon. But
God, no.
we've had enough. But I think that maybe like next time we have a rehearsal, and we don't have a gig coming right up. We should write again.
Definitely.
Nice, yeah. I mean, have you guys had any tour plans? Played outside of the city at all yet?
We actually have not. Not that we haven't been asked to play, but something always comes up when we maybe have an opportunity to play like Lafayette, Baton Rouge. Like it's just never. It's always fallen through.
Yeah.
It's just kind of is what it is. But hey, it's gonna happen at some point. I'm holding.
One of these days,
Yeah, it's gonna happen at some
we're
point.
gonna make it to Baton Rouge.
We'll make it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you see your excuse me, where do you see yourself in 5 years as a group?
Oh, I hope we're still playing music and like recording and stuff.
Yeah.
Is there any long-term plans that you guys are anticipating and preparing for?
I don't really see myself as like, I don't know, like I don't really consider, like I think the music thing is very important to me and it's like a big part of my life and I'm really glad I'm doing it, but I don't really have big plans to like get signed and then, you know, go. I know that like you would love to go on tour and stuff.
But if it were to happen, you would absolutely pursue it relentlessly.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd be so excited. But I think for the most part, I'm in it for like, this is kind of a fulfilling like creative outlet.
How would you guys feel if I was like, hey, we got asked to go on tour? Like, what would you guys say to that?
I'd probably be down.
Do you want my honest answer, or do you want?
Because I have
like,
an honest answer too. I feel like we have a similar answer.
You go first.
Well, I was just gonna say, I mean, it's like going on tour is like my life's bucket list item. Like I remember being in high school, just being like, oh my god, like I wanted my band in high school to go on tour, and like it never worked out. And I think again, I'm not qualified to speak on this, but like touring costs a lot of money, and we live in one of the best cities in the world for playing live music, and like, you know, as soon as the calculus makes sense to go on tour, like that'd be great. But if we're gonna lose like a ton of money and be in a stinky van for like a very long time, like that might be tough. Like I don't know. Like I have a dog and a lovely partner that I live with, and just like leaving that for an extended period of time would be very, very hard. And you know, I would love to go on tour. Like if I could snap my fingers and then like figure all that out, it'll all work out. Like that would be awesome. But I'm not like, you know, we gotta, you know, if we gotta go on tour, so then we can do this, and so then we can do this. I'm just like, you know what, like let's keep playing gigs and let's keep having fun, and
I think
I'm happy with that.
We've played with enough bands that are like we played with enough touring bands to kind of the illusion of tour has kind of been like a little bit shattered. Where it's like, oh, you guys are like so stinky. You're like you're playing to like a small like kind of like a almost empty bar on like a Thursday night.
I will also say though, like to the people that are on tour that choose to go on tour, I respect the hell out of you, and you are living my actual dream. So,
and we've got to play with some really cool bands, and I'm glad we got to see like I don't
this
know bands
band
coming out of
Yucks
different.
was on tour, and we
scenes.
opened for them, and they were awesome, and they had really cool
great.
shirts. So yeah, shout out to them.
Billy Doom is dead.
Yes, those guys are so cool.
Oh yeah,
Young Cassidy. Shout out to. I think both of them are out of Florida.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foolish Relics.
Cool.
Foolish Relics has always been kind to us.
Yes,
Yeah.
Foolish
Ska
Relics as
band.
well. Yeah.
Also
Florida.
out of Florida.
No, it's been
Yeah.
it's been really cool to meet bands from other scenes and stuff, and like I don't know, I think it's a very cool thing that people are doing, but I don't want
It's
to
tough.
do it.
It's tough.
It's
I mean,
really
hey, look,
hard.
I'm not like I'm leaving the door open. Like, of course, you know,
Yeah.
I would never say no to anything. Well, that's not true. But to going on tour, like the door would definitely be open. But you know, for the time being, like I think playing gigs here, and it's been a blast. So you know, like
Right.
I don't want for too much more. You know, like I just like, you know, I'm so excited to play, like rehearse again with you guys, you know, this weekend or whatever it's going to be.
Aw,
But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
that was sweet,
Nice.
Andrew.
So yeah, definitely some takeaways there, some career highlights I was hearing, some ambition, and to wrap things up, really, if you could collaborate with any artist from the past or present, who would that be and why?
Whoa.
And I want to hear a different answer from everyone, please and
Okay,
thank you.
heard.
I like can't think of a single musician all of a sudden.
I would record a track with Neil Peart,
The Professor.
the professor, the late drummer from possibly my favorite band, Rush.
Wow. Greatest drummer of all time for you? Your goat?
I don't know that much about drumming, honestly,
Oh,
but
okay.
he's up there. The drummers say that he's up there, so
Yeah,
I'll
he
take
is.
their word for
1,000%.
it.
He
He
is.
is. He is. Damn. I'm trying to think.
It's a good question. You've stumped
Very
the
good
arsonists.
I would love to. I've always wanted to ghostwrite. Like, I think it'd be really cool if I could write a song for someone who's like a singer who it's like, whoa, like you can hit some crazy notes.
Oh, interesting.
Like take it and go crazy with it.
Like write some arsonist style lyrics and then
Yeah.
have like Sabrina Carpenter sing.
Yeah, that'd be cool if like a Chappell Roan type was like, I don't know.
Start
feeding
singing,
dogs.
start
Yeah.
singing
Really ran
about
with it.
scary shit.
Yeah, like I think that'd be super cool.
That's a good answer. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would succeed in this collaboration, but I'd love to hang out with Keller Williams.
Keller Williams.
Yeah.
Well, how come?
He's just like a really goofy guy. He seems like he'd be fun to hang out with. He doesn't take himself too seriously.
Cool.
More of a
Yeah.
vibe thing. but-
Yeah, it's vibes.
I guess for me it would be someone along the lines of like, I guess Kendrick Lamar or Tyler the Creator, just because I have a big love for like West Coast
Yeah.
hip hop.
I see that. I do see that.
And I would just love to like play drums for like a big live thing like that. So I feel like that would be pretty sick.
What initially got you into drums?
Really just honestly, I would grab like whatever I could as a kid and just played pretend drums on a table, and then soon enough around middle school they had a pair of quad drums and like a marching band.
Yeah.
And I started playing those, and then once I got into those, I got in the bass drum and then snare drum, and then I picked up a drum kit, and it just kind of like stumbled from there because I played all through high school. I played for in college, and then for a time I used to play for the New Orleans Saints. I played in their drum line too. So
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
yeah,
You're very modest. You waited a long time. I
Yeah.
was waiting for you to drop that.
How did that come about?
So my instructor teaching me was the section leader for their quad section, and they were looking for members at the time, and I had just turned 18,
Okay, cool.
and I joined, and it was very fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was some of the most fun I've had ever. Yeah.
I can imagine. Would you travel with the Saints?
No, we never did travel per se, but we would always play at the 2-minute warning before halftime.
Cool.
We would play on the field, and we would go around during home games. We would play in like Champion Square. We would go play at different tailgates and stuff, and we would just always have a good time. And what was fun was we all knew all the parts to everything. So we would switch instruments in the middle of a song. So like I would swap with somebody and be playing cymbals and going crazy on those while somebody was playing quads, and like I just have a lot of fond memories of doing it. It was super duper fun.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for. I'm glad I got to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I got to hear that.
At the buzzer.
You have your guitar here. I think we mentioned something about you guys having a live performance in the talk. This would be the first
Yeah.
one, so
Oh, cool.
I'm really looking forward to hearing this.
Tune my guitar.
Yeah, it's gonna take
Ask
a
Luke
second.
another question.
Luke, sing something quick.
Nah,
Luke has the voice of an angel. Actually, we don't talk about it. A lot,
I
but-
do not have the voice
No,
of an
that's
angel.
not true.
That's
He,
lies.
he's being modest.
It's okay, I guess.
No.
One thing we're gonna do on the next album is gonna be like we're all gonna sing more.
Thank
I can
you.
Okay.
almost guarantee that. Well, Luke seems to.
I'm game with it, honestly.
sick.
I'll be cool with it.
Oh boy.
Sometimes just hearing myself back and recording, I'm not too fond of. But
Hey, you and me
I'm
both.
cool with
I
it,
feel
though.
like that's for everybody,
Oh,
though.
you're drop C. Should we just do mood ring instead?
It's like 6 minutes.
Are you like
Hang
fully
on.
drop C right now?
Let me see.
Oh dear.
It's something. There's something going on for sure.
And no time limit here on the talk. Take as much time as you need.
Okay. So I am in drop C. We could do mood ring.
Yeah, you're like a 12 string and drop C. I think we should do.
Oh,
It's
good
gonna
God.
take
The
minute.
live chat is saying for you to sing.
I'm not.
Luke, go.
I'm good.
Come on.
Nah.
Any
We'll have to
upcoming
save it.
upcoming gigs?
Yes.
Yes. And yeah.
We're playing March 11th at the Free Store. There's like a thing being put on by, oh my gosh, is it Kiln Records?
Yes.
so,
Yes.
yeah.
And it's for, I think there's going to be some bands that are on the way to South by Southwest. So I think we'll be playing some tunes there. And maybe, I think we have a couple other things, but I can't remember.
Cool. So, wow.
So I have
12 string.
I have a 12-string guitar. So it takes a long time to tune. It's also in like a weird tuning. Don't mind me.
You're good. Take your time. This is cool. No, this is really cool.
This is like my prized possession. It was my big graduation present when I graduated high school.
Nice.
It's a beautiful guitar.
It's a beautiful guitar. But the thing about this guitar and like there's one string that is very, very thin and then also has to be tuned really, really tight. So I've broken the last like 4 strings I bought for it. And I buy them at Glue because it's just close to my house. And the guy's always like, hey, you're back. And he's not so friendly to me, no offense to him. But I was dressed super goth because I was wearing like a costume for the show. And then he was like, what's up? Like, what kind of guitar do you have? Like, hey, I don't think you recognize me. Which was really funny.
My 12 string story is one time I had a guitar I was teaching guitar
That's
when
cool.
I was in grad school, and my student's dad was like, hey, I have this 12 string, it's like really old, can you like restring it for me? And I was like, yeah 100%, dude, like I would love to help you out. Took the 12 string home, started to restring it, and the nut of the 12 string just cracked on me.
Yeah.
Like as I was,
Oh.
and I was like, oh no. I mean, like
They're fickle.
they commonly break, and it was on the super long one, like the G string that's like really long and has a lot of a lot of force on the,
Yeah.
so it kind of was my fault, but also kind of not. But I feel
Yeah,
bad. I
say
feel bad about
that.
that. But he was like, hey, can you just restring this old guitar for me? And I came back and I was like,
Broke it.
it's broken. I'm sorry.
My bad.
Cool.
He was cool about it, but
Yeah?
All right.
sorry, Rick.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
slipped out of my hands. Down the drain in the kitchen sink. Down the drain in the kitchen sink. Down the drain in the kitchen sink.
Wow.
Thank you.
I mean, wow.
Thanks.
I would die a very happy death listening to that.
Well, not soon.
No, hopefully not anytime soon. But that was great. Abby and the Arsonists, thank you so much for taking the time to come out, guys. This has been an absolute pleasure
Thanks so much for
hosting you
having
guys and
us.
interviewing you guys.
This
Yeah,
has been
thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Any closing statements before we wrap it up?
Go ahead and listen to our album if you haven't yet. Get up and get out there and go listen to it.
You heard it from Abby herself. Get up, get out there, and go listen to it. Thank you all. Have a great night.